All right, episode 8.
Episode 8.
Paul and Ryan.
Ryan and Paul, the COD.
The COD back in effect. So we got a good episode lined up for you today. We got our man David Hamilton from Of Good Nature. He'll be calling in a little bit later. Exactly. So yeah, man, let's start it off, man. What do you where should we start? Where should we begin?
Hey, since we're having Of Good Nature on, they're an independent band. If you guys have never heard of them, we're going to concentrate because recently.
How did you? I guess before we hop into there, how did you come in contact with Of Good Nature? How did you get involved or introduced to them?
Well, I love all types of genres of music, from rap to classical to everything, pretty much rock, reggae, you name it. So I like to go to some of the independent venues. One in particular out here in Denver, Colorado is called the Leather Pavilion. And I went to see a band called Pacifier, which is more of a reggae rock band. They kind of own that type of genre because they said that one of their influences was Bob Marley, of course, right? If you like reggae, Bob Marley's an influence.
Come on.
It was there, and a lot of times they have these undercard bands, undercard artists who come in and play before the main event. And Of Good Nature actually was one of those artists, and they came on, man, and they rocked the place. I'm talking about fresh, like island / rock / feel good music, you know what I mean? And they came on, and I was like, man, I got to meet these guys. And I kind of had like the VIP pass or whatever the case may be. So I walked up, and the first person I came into contact with was the drummer, David Hamilton. So me and him stopped. We talked for a minute. I told him how much I enjoyed their set, and I started following them, and the rest is history.
But that venue.
Yeah.
No, I was saying that venue you were at. How's it doing right now with COVID?
So as you know, most venues are shut down just due to the nature of independent music venues, right? Smaller space, more contact. You know, there's no 6 feet between people. Obviously, the bar, you know, things of that nature. So it's a lot of interaction between people, and with this pandemic we have going on, that just can't happen. So a lot of these venues have suffered in the way of, you know, their staff having to be laid off, them not bringing any revenue in. So they really need help, man. You know, businesses that need help, but in particular, just because we're focusing on that today, they need help. And like I said earlier, the government actually did something good.
Okay, all right. Some good news.
Yeah, we're gonna give you some good news in episode 8 of the COD. The fresh good news.
Fresh catch of the week.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys aren't familiar with smaller venues, as far as music is concerned, the National Independent Venue Association is probably the biggest organization that helps support these smaller music venues, and they just got a grant from the government, or approved for a grant from the government to support these venues. So that's huge, man. I mean, because music is life. I mean, you know this. You're an artist.
Yeah.
Out here, music. So
I was telling you earlier when you were going over the article with me about Double Door had closed before this pandemic.
Right.
So even before COVID, smaller music venues were already struggling and fighting to stay on. You know, in Chicago, you had Rising Rent, and now the legendary Double Door. I'm pretty sure it's some like furniture store or something like that. You know, don't quote me on it, but it's definitely a retail space now.
Exactly.
All of the history, all of the bands that I've come up seeing. I remember when I had interned for Nike, and I had worked an event for the I think 25th anniversary of the Air Force One, and DJ Clark Kent was there. Kids These Days, which was Vic Mensa's band before he went solo. Right. Chance the Rapper was still his hype man at the time. So it was a lot of history in there. It was a lot of Chicago artists' first big venue to really perform in Wicker Park. So, you know, even without COVID, you know, just rising rents and things like that, we're getting a lot of these smaller venues out of the paint. But now that we do have COVID, there's definitely things going on. Shout out Leor Galil from the Chicago Reader. He's got an initiative, Save Our Stages, hashtag Save Our Stages.
Absolutely.
So, you know, all your favorite venues, and I know I'm Chicago specific right now, but at least in Chicago, there's a focus on saving stages such as, you know, the Subterranean, such as Elbow Room,
Right.
Things of that nature. You know, not everyone is a House of Blues.
Right.
So, you know, a lot of these places that would allow me to go in there and perform, they're struggling, they're hurting because, you know, just like bars and restaurants, you got to shut down. Like you said, a lot of these places, it's not really feasible to stand 6 feet apart from each other. And obviously you do have bars in most of them where they're serving you food and alcohol. And if regular bars and restaurants can't open, these venues can't open. And if those venues can't open, you're not going to have live music. And as you have, you know, put it just plainly and clearly, music is life. We need that to keep functioning, keep moving. Even if you're not a music fan, imagine watching a movie without music.
Exactly. I mean, look what's happening right now with this versus thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just tell you just how important it is. You got some of the biggest artists out here agreeing to do this because, I mean, it's what the people...
They can't tour.
Yeah, they can't tour, man. You got the versus thing. You got the Tiny Desk sessions. I mean, shout out to Jams had the Tiny Desk he released, but everybody's doing that now, right? They're streaming live on IG. I mean, even in the podcast space. Look at Joe. You know what I mean?
Fat Joe. Shout out Fat Joe.
Jopra. He called himself Jopra. So.
Yeah, the Jopra. The Fat Joe show. But yeah, man, everything is online right now. Everyone is getting on Zoom.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's getting on Microsoft Teams. They're getting on any of these telecommunication networks. IG Live. So they're getting on these telecommunication networks and they're trying to have some form of communication still. But even with all of that connection, even with all of that communication, it still doesn't replace the feeling of live music.
It does not. It doesn't. I mean, some of my best experiences with live music, I'm talking about, and like you said, Chicago, because like we're both from Chicago, so that's all what we're familiar with. But man, I was in New York and saw Talib Kweli at a small venue, man, up close.
Hey, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
like that was intense. That was dope. I saw Yo Gotti down in Florida in a small.
Hey, all right. Shout out Gotti.
You know, and man, I mean, just the up close and personal feeling of the music, the performance, right? Like, there's nothing that beats that. So if anybody,
I mean, even your story about meeting Of Good Nature without that live show.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, and not even just the live show, but the live show in those smaller indie venues, you know, not everybody is a Justin Bieber where you're going to have to go to an arena.
Exactly.
And you're going to be probably 100 feet from the artist in the nosebleeds, things like that. Right. And then you have fun and you go home.
And on that note, shout out Justin Bieber. He's they just said, I know I'm shouting out Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Don't mind the Biebs. And he just booked a concert out here at the Pepsi Center, bro, for September. Yep. I'm looking at the date because, you know, my Live Nation, everything is going off because this is probably like one of the first concerts booked in like 5 months. So I'm looking at the date like, man, well, I hope COVID's calmed down before then. Like, I'm curious.
Right.
Man, I might go
if it still goes on.
Good, yeah.
Just to get out, yeah. So it's one of those things where not everyone has those big venue shows, those big arena shows. Not everyone is Post Malone, you know. So for a lot of us, there's pros and cons. You know, your biggest artist is going to go to the arena, but where do you find the new artists? Where do you get introduced to new acts? Where, you know, outside of SoundCloud and streaming platforms, what's one of the best avenues for music discovery? It would be these smaller venues, because those smaller venues mean more intimate shows. And when you have more intimate shows, you have those opportunities where, like you said, you can walk up to them after the show, shake their hand.
Yeah.
They're probably going to be more humble at that stage in their career where they'll let you shake their hand, get an autograph, take a picture with them, chop it up.
Exactly.
Maybe even you're going to be able to connect with them online, and they'll connect back with you, and hopefully one day speak to us at the COD, which is happening today. So,
hey, man,
without those small venues, you're not going to run into people like Of Good Nature and things like that. So it's an important thing that we try to do something, and I'm glad that this association has got that grant to kind of help bring this back, man, because we need it. Yeah. And you being in Colorado, not every venue can be like Red Rocks.
Nah, can't.
And be outside, because I know some artists are looking at Red Rocks like, let me do a show there. I'm pretty sure they're probably booked.
Right. They're booked up, and they're spacing people out. I kind of saw how their setup was. They're kind of spacing people out. You know what I mean? Because they do have a couple of shows that they're still running. Yeah. Obviously, they're not flying anybody in right now. They can't do that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, yeah, exactly, man. And for anybody who else is a music lover, which I'm sure all of you are, if you want a little bit more information, it's info@nivassoc.org. Again, it's info@nivassoc.org. Man, save our small venues.
Put that up top.
Yes. Save our small venues. Yeah. I mean, I need my
because music. I know you do not want to come out of this pandemic and have every small venue turn into an Orange Theory or turn into some type of yoga studio. Yeah. And now it's even harder for you to experience live music, because not everyone can pay $100 a ticket to see The Weeknd or Rihanna or or Drake. Not everyone can afford. And if all those venues do go out, those ticket prices will rise. So it's going to be one of those things where you're going to essentially shut out, poor people. And I don't want to just say poor people, because there's a lot of people who are doing well who might not want to spend $100 on a ticket. Right. It's going to be one of those things where you're just going to shut out live music to everyone who's not the highest bidder. And music should be available for all. So.
Absolutely. It helps move the masses, man. It helps put you in a better mood. It helps you.
Yes, sir.
I mean, what? I mean, even the podcast space. I mean, look at all these other podcasts, like you said, Joe Rogan.
Oh man, come on now, Joe Budden, Joe Rogan, Bodega Boys. I mean, all these podcasts were doing live tours.
Right.
If you think a podcast is just, 2 or 3 people sitting talking to each other in a room week after week after week, people are taking it to the next level. Podcasts like the COD are finding opportunities to go tour,
right?
To get on the road, to go into those venues, to speak to their fans face to face, speak to their listeners face to face. So when I first saw Budden, because I've seen him twice, when I first saw him, he was at a smaller venue. And it was one of those things where you were able to speak to him,
right?
At some point, maybe if you got there early enough before the show. But it was one of those things where it was like, it just made the crowd participation that much better, because he called me out. He was like, "Yo, who you come with?" And I went by myself at that point, so I was like, "Oh shit, I'm on the spot."
Right.
But he could clearly see me. I could clearly see him. He making a joke, on my expense, but I'm laughing with him too. People all sitting around me is laughing. It's one big community, so it's different than music, but that small venue means something. Now, when he came back the second time, he was in a bigger venue, but still, it's like, even podcasts, we got to start somewhere, and if we don't have that,
and it's the intimacy.
Where's the opportunity? Yeah,
just like with Joe Budden's podcast, and like my experience, in the music venues with groups like Good Nature, right?
Yeah.
It's the intimacy, man. You know, you could really feel the lyrics.
Yeah.
You could really be involved in that conversation, right? And I think that's important, man. That social engagement, that community, like you said, that community of being there, of being in this moment, of experiencing this with other people, man. That's what
Yeah.
that's what brings us together, you know.
Yep.
And man, and ultimately, man, it's just it's a better way of life, right? They always say
Yeah.
they always say emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being, right? I mean, music is
Mm-hmm.
emotional and spiritual, so
Yep.
it's one of those things, man. So yeah, if you guys aren't in tune with it, research it, support our smaller venues.
Yeah. Find, you know, like he said, go to that website, NIVASSOC.org.
Mm-hmm.
.org. Go, go there and see what you can do. If you're in the Chicago area, if you're on Twitter, search up hashtag Save Our Stages,
That's right.
and see what you can do. I know if you follow the Chicago Reader, or like how I said, I shouted out Lear Galil, you can go through any of those avenues to figure out how to help us save our stages, because it's something that we all need.
Yeah, absolutely. And today we have David Hamilton of Good Nature calling in. Got him calling in, and yeah, we'll hear his side of the business, um, how he started, and how COVID is affecting him and his band. And we're
Mm-hmm.
excited to have him on. So,
All right, let's give him a call. Episode 8, the COD Podcast, back again with your co-hosts, Ryan and Paul.
Paul and Ryan, come on now.
Ryan and Paul, yeah, man. Sitting down with David Hamilton from the band Of Good Nature. I was about to say of Good Nature, but I'm going to say from Of Good Nature.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you for connecting with us today, man.
Man, thank you for having me apart, man. I'm glad to be here.
I was telling Paul I had your videos playing before we hopped on, and I was getting hyped. I was like, this is that music that makes you really want to forget COVID and go to a festival right now, grab a beer or something, be outside. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's crazy how I fell in the line of this music, but this music is life changing in many aspects. You know, I've never fell into a family like this. You know, I don't know. This aspect of music is just fun. You know, it's enjoyable. And it's beachy. You know, you can have like a beach type of vibe or any type of vibe.
How'd you fall into it? How'd you join Of Good Nature? How'd the band start?
It started back 5 years ago. It's crazy to even say that because I was just graduating high school and starting a little bit of college, and I was going to this music store called Sam Ash, and I met a good friend, John Pierre, who played in Queen City Dubs, which is a band that the trombone player Brandon played in at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I filled in for him a few dates, and then like a year later, Brandon called me. It was like, "Yo, I'm joining this band, and I want you to be a part. I'm gonna send you videos. Check this out, and let me know if you like it." And he did that, and I was sold. You know, I was like, "Yeah, I'll try this out. Let's give it a try." So we did like a few rehearsals, and then it was like, "Yo, let's hit the road." And ever since, it's like a nonstop thing. We've been hitting the road playing 200 to maybe 250 shows a year, and we basically live in like a Sprinter van right now. So it's been it's been dope. We stay in hotels too, but
nice.
Sprinter van is our life.
Let me ask you a question, man. So the first time that I saw you, right? You were playing you were playing in Denver at the Levitt Pavilion. It was Pacified. Yeah. It was you guys, and there's a bunch of other bands, right? and your music came on, and I'm like, man, like this is hot. You know what I mean? Like, man, I love this vibe, man. You know,
Yeah,
just like you said, it's like a vacation-y vibe. It's like a rock reggae type of vibe. You know, so I just want
right.
to ask you, like, if you could describe your genre, how would it be? If you could describe you guys' music.
So yeah, we get asked a lot. A lot of people say we're reggae, or we don't classify ourselves as reggae,
Right.
only because we don't have so many reggae songs. We have like a few reggae songs we might do, but we like to expand. I come from the background of jazz. I come from the background of gospel, hip hop, R&B. Those are my natives. So I
Mm-hmm.
play that a lot, and they play a lot of rock. Indie rock, folk, country. All that type of stuff. So we all come from different backgrounds, but we came as a collective and created like this type of indie rock, funk, reggae.
Nice.
But I always described it, we're indie rock with some funk and a reggae drop,
Nice.
and we also get compared to like Dave Matthews or Sublime, and that's kind of where we stand out. Somebody asks us if you can describe what you're like, who are you like? And I would say Dave Matthews, or a little bit of sound from Sublime,
Right.
and that
Not
really
mad at
works.
that.
Yeah.
Wait, I know this isn't connected right now, but since I had the your videos up on YouTube, the playlist that showed up was saying that you guys were fusion friendly. So I was like, I like how that sounds. But I did want to
Yeah,
ask,
man.
where did you guys go to shoot that "Be the Day" video?
Either day, it was here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Wow.
We took some parts of different stuff, I guess from the internet or whatever. I think that's what they did from the video,
Mm-hmm.
because there was a lot of different characters and acts in the video, that we didn't know. I didn't know personally.
Mm-hmm.
But we got all the fruits and the swimming pool stuff at the back of Cameron's aunt's house here in
Okay.
Charlotte, North Carolina. What's crazy is after that day, I went to the hospital. I was like, yo, it's crazy. I had so much fun. And then I went to the hospital because I got infected by, I don't know what. They said it was an infection, but I got that cleared. But that day,
That's
man,
good.
we had so much fun eating fruits and just chilling, man. It was like, and jumping in the pool. It was amazing. But it was here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, man, it looked like an island for real.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all
Yeah.
global, man. Y'all global.
Yeah, I mean we travel, but yeah, we never shot a video on the island yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
We'll probably come. Yeah.
Nice.
As far as your drum career is concerned, man, how long you been playing the drums?
Man, I've been playing since I was a baby. I started really at 1 because I started watching Sesame Street and all that stuff on TV. Went and got some pots and pans, and my dad was like, immediately, that's what he's going to do. He's going to be a drummer. My mom was like, dude, you need to stop banging, stop all that noise. So she was kind of calming it down. My dad was pushing it. He's like, yo, I'm going to get him a drum set. So he got me my first drum set when I was 1 year old. I started playing church.
Right.
My first service was around 5 years old. That's when I kind of started grasping a few things. And I initially started paying to get played around 7.
Nice.
So I've been playing drums for a little while. I'm not that old. I'm 24. So a lot of people
No
say, "Oh,
worries.
you're a baby." So I ain't gonna say a long time.
Hey, man, I can't play the drums, so kudos to you.
Did you study music in college?
No, I was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got accepted to Berkeley in Boston.
Nice.
And I was going to go out there for school, but instead I just went to RCCC Community College here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I started touring immediately. So I didn't get a chance to really do my school. I did a year of school, and then I started touring.
Now we like to pride ourselves on being an all ages podcast. But what's a crazy tour story you have? What's a crazy tour story you have?
A crazy tour story. Oh man,
Yeah.
it's so many.
I'm sure.
I mean, I've definitely seen people running, naked in streets. Uh, but the craziest tour story, I don't know. It's from homeless people trying to rob us and stuff like that. Other than that, I don't know. Other than since this is all ages, it's hard to really say.
Well,
But
I only say that. I only say that. It didn't mean that you had to get explicit, but if like you
right.
said, like if somebody robs you, or if you had to deal with like a promoter like running off with some money, like I'm sure you have to deal with some wild stuff on the road, especially
Oh
250
yeah,
shows a year.
yeah. We've definitely dealt with like homeless people beating on our vans and trying to rob us.
Yeah.
We've dealt with getting caught by so many cops. People thinking we were setting, from sleeping in our vans some nights. It would feel so good outside. We would crash in our vans in a
Right.
random Walmart parking lot sometimes, or Planet Fitness sometimes. But we got the cops called on us many times, like numerous times.
Right.
Like in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, it didn't matter. And we always waking up like, what in the world? And like, yeah, we got a suspicious call saying y'all were gonna some suspicious act that y'all were gonna rob the place or something like that. I was like, what in the world?
Wow.
People think we're about to rob somebody. So it's been stuff, a lot of stuff like that. A lot of cops for sure. We've came across a lot of wild people with adventurous stories and everything like that for sure. It's I don't know. Like I said, this community is a big community. So every day we wake up, it was something different. Especially waking up in a different city, it was always something different.
Right.
It was fun.
I can only imagine what goes on the road.
Yeah, that's a tour life though, right? It gives you
Yeah,
perspective. For sure.
It's the
exactly,
grind.
man.
It's the grind.
Yeah, man.
Man, it's the ground, man. It's fun like this, man.
Hey, speaking of Louisiana, I was telling Paul about your Feels Right video. How was that? It looked like a lot of fun.
Dude, that was fun, man. We had our boy Adrian Crutchfield join in on that playing sax. Man, it was Louisiana was fun. We just came off of a cruise, Sail Across the Sun.
Nice.
And that's Trains Cruise for many people who don't know. That is one of the best cruises you can go on, and it's one of my favorite cruises to go on to. This came off a cruise, and we stayed in Louisiana for like 5 days, I believe, 4 nights, and we just experienced life on the streets, man. It was wild, a lot of jazz.
I know next on our list is about your goals, but before getting into those goals, are you guys independent right now, or do you have a label deal? What's your situation?
Yeah, we are independent.
Okay.
We released an album with Matt Bailey and them, but we're an independent band, and we do look forward to connecting with some labels here soon, but we're just making sure everything is right, before we move forward in steps. Just from past experiences of others who got done everything like that. So we want to make sure we do it right. But I think right now being independent is what's best for us.
What are some goals you guys have in the meantime?
Goals is release singles. We got an EP we're about to release.
Okay.
Here soon with some covers on it, like Airplane, Valerie, and stuff like that. And we look forward to putting out. We're going to record another album probably soon. We're always writing, so.
Yeah, Paul actually played me your Bill Withers cover earlier.
Hey man, everything turns gold.
Yeah, lovely day. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
That was a fun one. We shot that actually in California.
COVID-19, how does it affect you guys' artistic your brainstorming, like anything that you guys do as far as making new songs and the show?
Yeah.
Because touring is kind of stopped, so it's kind of allow people to kind of be a little bit more creative in the house, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Touring is definitely stopped, but music never. we've been doing a little bit of recording ourselves, you know, and sending it out to Danny Cobb. Shout out to Danny Cobb for producing both our albums. But yeah, we've been shooting stuff towards him and saying what he thinks to ground ourselves to reset. You know, this is the time for us to reset, and so we can continue.
Have you guys been able to still record in the studio as a band, or if you had to do things
But it
separately
definitely
on your
sets
own?
my tone. We've definitely recorded a live stream as a band, which is on
Right.
YouTube. And this was not too long ago. It's probably about a month or so ago.
Right.
But other than that, we've been just recording kind of separately. We haven't really, other than our 2 private shows we had in Charlotte, and but we do have some stuff coming up, as far as like weddings and stuff like that, and hopefully and we are doing stuff on jamnow.com. So yeah, everybody check out Jamsville or whatever from us, and we can do it acoustically as a band together. But we'll definitely be recording here in the near future here for sure.
Nice. Hey, do you think that because I saw that a lot of people, even Justin Bieber, he just booked a show here at Pepsi Center in Denver. So are there any projected dates you guys are going to be performing? You think, or you have anything in the works for that for your fans?
Yes. We don't have any projected dates just yet. I know we had some dates set up for September, but because of COVID
Right.
and the numbers, you know, we are postponing that till next year. Right now, it looks like 2021 is around May, I guess, might be the point of everything starting again. So I don't know, we're going to see. Hopefully things can change, you know, hopefully things don't get worse. So
Hey.
there's many pros and cons in that.
Mm-hmm.
But we're definitely hoping we're able to start playing shows ASAP for sure. Because I'm definitely, I like working, but I'm over it. I want to play music.
I hear you.
Yeah. Now I know you said this was a big community as far as music. I guess what do you see as the future for your industry in this community that you're in?
Sure, yeah, I think definitely festivals, reggae, freaks some with Tropidelic, hopefully maybe. There's so many festivals you can name. You know, we just did Dry Diggins Festival in Cali, and that was amazing. You know, and so we're hoping like all these festivals do come back. You know, because there's so many great festivals out here. I see a lot of tours happening because everybody's gonna be so hungry for music. You know, people
Absolutely.
miss it now. Like the 2 private shows we did were not completely quarantined, but it was, you know, it felt good. It felt right. So when all those shows and festivals start back again, man, it's gonna be amazing. We just got to make sure we're doing it in the right. But I do look forward to so many festivals like Reggae Rise Up in Florida, Tampa, Florida. All of that is so dope, you know. And Dry Diggins was amazing. It was dope. So it's many things, you know, that we definitely looking forward to as far as festivals. The future is bright for this community for sure.
So David, I want to get back to your 22 release, man. Your Everything Turns Gold. I want to know like what inspired you guys to make this album, and man, just give the people a little background about the music.
Yeah, we were inspired, you know, by each other. Really, we would just sit around, coming from different shows. You know, many shows has definitely inspired us, and we would write a show and like, dang man, that sounds pretty good, and we just start coming together and putting stuff together. So other than the whole album to collectively, we wrote many songs in different places, you know, at different times, man. And life kind of just inspired us. Influences from many artists that's on the radio right now as well. But you know, we kind of take the inspiration from each other for sure. Everything Turns Gold was a fun album to record. And the Bill Withers tune was definitely a great tune. Did not knowing, he was going to pass. So rest in peace to Bill Withers.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
It was, It was definitely, it was a nice album, perfect album. And I enjoy it more listening to it, probably more than I was recording it at the time. Because I was trying to get the flow of most of the song. But then when I was recording it, man, I felt more free than recording Timeless, because Timeless was the first record that I started recording with the band, and it was a great album. I enjoyed it, but I felt more free on Everything Turns Gold. I definitely think the album probably might in the future hopefully turn into gold or platinum.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I hear that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a little bit over a minute left.
Yes, sir.
I guess speaking on with you speaking on the new album and also the future. I guess once again, can you let us know where to find you on jamnow.com? Is that what it was called?
Yeah, jamnow.com. You can go just go to Safari, Google Chrome, whatever, type in jamsnow.com, JAMS now NOW.com. And just you can go to that website, request a song from us, or you can just hit us up in our Instagram account, Facebook, whatever, and we'll respond to you if you have problems trying to do it, for sure. But yeah, send us requests, man, because we're trying to do requests. Don't care who we're trying to do it for. We're just trying to do it. So
Nice.
we're gonna be getting up this week to do something. Definitely shoot some our way, for sure.
Nice. And one thing we like to do when we interview artists is always end the episode off with a song. So if it's all right, what song would you like us to play at the end of this episode?
One of our songs, or
yeah, one of your songs.
Okay,
one of yours. Yeah.
You can do Be the Day, man. Y'all got me set on Be the Day right now.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
That was the jam.
Yeah, episode 8. Thank you, David Hamilton.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
No worries, man. This is gonna be a dope episode.
Hey, God, thanks, brother. All right, peace.
If I would need to, I could be through. I would leave you. Maybe replace you. Find a way to not see you. So I'll ignore it. I maybe stop it. For a lady use. So here's what I say. I'll go my way, and that'll be the day. 'Cause when you lose it, you know that it's time to let it go. So how would you feel if I was real and not concealed? I took my time to, I do what I do, I steer my wheel. You probably lose it, maybe refuse it, make a big deal. So here's what I say, I'll go my way, and that'll be the day. And we lose it, you know that it's time to let it go. Thing for me, the distant sun, please carry me. Move with one thing, one heart. Today's that day when love comes back again. on the upswing and not lingering. It could be something, or maybe nothing, on my sixth string. It could include you, or elude you. What do you think? So here's what I say, I'll go my way, and that'll be the day.